and presented by the Youth and Young Adults of Hillsong London.
We've got another great show in store for you today. Our fearless youth and young adult leaders are joining us again. We've got more powerful stories of people living out a fearless life. And if you've never heard of the fearless generation, check out this video.
Fear is subtle. It creeps up on you, slowly oozing over every orifice in your mind. An invisible chain, a doubt that leads to demand to remain in comfort in the current. It clouds truth, it ensnares hope, it holds your future captive, keeps your life on hold. You could be living in fear without even realizing it. Fear and faith are fruit of what we choose to focus on. I was told I'd never amount to anything or fulfill my dreams. I thought I'd be laughed at, mocked. I looked at my future and saw nothing until I realized loneliness is a lie, worry is a lie, anxiety is a lie, failure, doubt, death, all lies. Fear is a lie, and the truth has set me free. We are a generation who walk by faith, not by fear. A generation whose foundation is scripture, not society. To fear is to trust. And we are a generation that refuses to trust and lie. Therefore we stand bold, we stand courageous, we stand victorious. The fearless generation.
So we're joined here today with some of our youth and young adults. This is the Fearless Entourage. And we're going to continue our conversation on real love. Now, if you didn't watch last episode, check out the highlights.
In today's world, people are looking for someone to meet their every need. But sometimes we need to actually lose ourselves. Try and be the person you want someone to be for you.
So we're going to continue our conversation about fearless relationships, and today's theme is real love. Back with us, we have Gabriel and Annabella. And Matt and Santhi Smith. Now, we've split up the boys and the girls today, and we've done this on purpose because, girls, we want to find out what real love looks like to you, and boys, we want to find out what real love looks like to you. And maybe we can talk about some of the miscommunication and go from there. So, for those of you who've just tuned in, Gabriel and Annabella have been married for how many months?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. And how has it been since you've been married?
He has been amazing. Good times all around.
Where did you go on your honeymoon?
Bali and Singapore. Take us back.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nice. Now, millions of people know about your wedding, and the reason they know is because your wedding video went viral.
Yeah.
How many hits did it get?
Over 22 million.
22 million hits. Wow. And it was picked up by loads of different people, TV shows, radio stations, BuzzFeed, stuff like that. Why do you think everyone was talking about it?
I think I don't look like the kind of guy who's, it was a really vulnerable moment, and I don't think that they see some of my kind of exterior to have that kind of vulnerable moment in public.
Some of you might not have seen it, so I reckon we should show it to people.
Let's do it. This is our wedding video.
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. This is your moment, man.
Oh, Gabriel, that's not just crying. Like, you were bawling your eyes out.
The only thing I was left out was a snot.
Who's your best man?
Oh, it's a friend from uni. He actually introduced Annabella and I together.
And he's telling you to stand up.
Yeah. My legs were just shaking.
Wow. Girls, okay, let's just talk about this. Do you like a guy that cries? Is that what you're looking for?
Not all the time.
Yeah.
We don't all the time.
Hold back
So, all right, let me ask you, Santhi, because Santhi and Matt, how long have you guys been together?
We've been together since 2012, but been married since April 2014.
All right, cool. So what does real love look like for you guys in your relationship?
Real love is just me looking out for her. My aim is to make her happy. My aim is to make her feel like she is worth it and make her feel like she is the best thing that's happened to me, and it is Jesus. And then, so yeah, no, other than Jesus. I mean, Jesus is here and Santhi's up there. But yeah, I just want to make her happy, and just have that honest relationship, that truthful relationship with her. So that's what, that's what real love and true love is to me. But.
Yeah, great, amazing. Well, loads of people have written in different questions, and one of the questions that keeps coming up is all about vulnerability, and it's a word that we don't really talk about, but you mentioned vulnerability, and that's why people were like looking and sharing at the video, because you're vulnerable. What do people think about being vulnerable? Are you vulnerable in relationships? Should you be vulnerable in a relationship? And how early can you be vulnerable? Because maybe, you know, on your first date, you don't want to like put all the cards on the table.
This is my life.
Yeah. So what do we think?
I think you get more and more vulnerable as you spend more and more time with the person.
Yeah.
And as you open up your heart to them, you know that your vulnerability is in a safe place. I'm still becoming more and more vulnerable with Gabriel every day. I don't know if he likes it, but I think vulnerability happens over time.
Yeah,
and it comes from a place of trust as well.
Boys?
Coming off the back of what Annabella said, I think vulnerability does come from a place of trust, but it actually shows strength. It shows that you're comfortable in who you are.
Yeah, great.
Like, you know your own identity. So
Great.
definitely, sometimes guys, we tend to struggle. Speaking of myself, you know, with vulnerability, but you know, when you're comfortable with that person and when there's trust there and you know who you are and you know who they are, it's amazing.
Like you're saying, it's the start place. It's the start place of courage.
Yeah.
And I think the start place of courage is the start place of growth.
Yeah, it's great.
So for me, I'm trying to get more vulnerable every day.
Yeah.
Which makes for some interesting conversations.
Mac, I think on the back of that, because I think in real love is about being vulnerable, but knowing that the other person will still accept you.
Yeah.
And that they'll still love you through it. And
Yeah.
I know that's one of those real strong things of, well, I'm going to be vulnerable here because I know you're for me.
Yeah.
And I know you're with me. And I think that's so key. And on both sides, actually, the more vulnerable you are, the more acceptance there is. And so there is more real love in that together.
Great, man.
So, Alex, then, so you just said, you know, real love, you know, they accept you no matter what. But what if you're starting out with someone, you're just getting to know them, you maybe just started dating. When can you then be vulnerable?
That's a good question. Girls, so OG, so when should a guy start getting a little bit more vulnerable with you?
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Just in general in a relationship.
To the floor.
Yeah.
Got the mic. So basically, I think as Christians anyway, like we need to get to a place where we can actually be vulnerable with people in general, like across the board.
good.
I think transparency is good in all kinds of relationships. So I don't think it should be like a thing, like on the third date, I'm supposed to release everything. I think for me personally, like I actually gauge whether a relationship is worth exploring based on how much we can talk. So if you know how to speak and you can be a little bit vulnerable, and as Annabella said, like as time goes on, I think naturally as humans we open up a bit more anyway. Like I think it's actually more of a natural thing than we think. Personally.
Great.
Just off of the back of that, like if you are dating somebody and you're starting to get vulnerable, I just think like we should also bear in mind our intentions for that relationship, because if you start just like pouring out all your feelings and like delving into your past and the other person's like, actually, this isn't for me, you may leave like that relationship like, oh, I told them everything, and it's not going anywhere. So I think we also need to be like,
that's very good,
just mindful of where we're going with it.
At the end of the day, as your real love grows, so can your vulnerability.
That's a word right there.
So my little comment on this then, to the lads, would be,
Come on, boy.
like, obviously, guys, you find it hard to express your feelings. Like sometimes, like, I find it a little bit frustrating with men because they find it hard to talk about their feelings and stuff. Whereas us girls, we're like, this is how we feel a lot of the time. But hey, but. You know, we've talked about communication and stuff like that and that being important. Why do you guys find it so hard to express your feelings? Because, you know, it's not like it's something... Hang on, I haven't finished yet. I'm going to go in with this one. It's not even like it's something that necessarily goes when you're married. You know, we're saying that the more, you know, the more you get to know someone, the more intimate it becomes, the more you can be vulnerable. But actually, guys still find it quite hard to express their feelings. Why do you think this is? And how, as girls, can we help you with that?
Wow.
Yes. That's good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Fabulous question.
Fire.
I'm scared. No, I think as a guy, sometimes when we want to express our feelings, we're just, I don't know, it's not an ego thing, but we're just scared of getting shut down by a girl. And I don't, like, as the relationship goes on and on and on, I guess it gets easier to speak and you become more transparent with your girlfriend, right, or your partner.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, there's just nothing going on. Like, we're not actually, like... Real talk. Yeah. So sometimes we're not actually thinking that much into things, but a girl's like, oh, what are you thinking? What about this? And I'm just quiet because there's nothing going on at the moment. So, yeah, swings around.
I heard this saying once, and it says, often people forget what you say, but never how you make them feel.
Jeez.
And I think, as guys sometimes, if there's, like Mikey said, if there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on. But literally, we can show you that we care. We can show you that we're vulnerable with the attention that we're giving to you. And ultimately, it might come down to communication. And how we communicate, making sure that, you know, we place value on you.
Right.
That's how you know that.
So how do we communicate that word love then? If you are in a relationship and you are in love, like how often should you be saying like, I love you? Because maybe, do you think sometimes we use that word so much that it's maybe like lost its power? Like we say we love our Big Mac, we love our car, we love Manchester United, we love our Bay, like we use it a lot, that word.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the saying that I love you, it's more of understanding your partner from how they want to receive love. Because I think naturally we want to give love from the way that we want it. But for example, Annabella, I would often do things and she's like, what are you actually doing? Because that's the way I think I receive love by like acts of service. But with Annabella, she wants to always be spoken to and affirmed, and me express myself verbally to her. And that's been something we've been working on over time.
So Matt and Santhi, do you guys know about these love languages?
Yes.
Have you heard about the love languages? Yes. Do you know what yours are?
Mine is physical touch, and I like gifts as well. So that's mine. Santhi's, on the other hand, she again likes being spoken to, so she likes a word of affirmation. And she likes me always telling her that I love her. Now, I didn't realize this until I got blasted for it. But I wasn't doing it, but because again I was trying to give her love the same way I wanted love. And although she does love physical touch, I needed to be able to communicate that love to her verbally, which has picked up the whole relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
What about you, Dan Watson? What's your love language?
My love languages are acts of service and gifts. Yes. Just keep giving me stuff.
Yeah. Joe, what are yours?
Word of affirmation.
Right.
I feel like mine are all of them, babe.
Yeah, they are.
I don't feel like I got one.
Gifts, words of... Yeah, the lot, yeah.
Easy.
All right, well, Nathan and Shona, I think you guys should come and join me and Charlie right down here.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have just started dating.
Yeah, so we've probably been dating for about 8 months now.
8 months, nice. And how did this romance happen?
Well, I knew Shona before. Well, we started going to ICAS together, which is a course we do at Hillsong Church London. But before, we knew each other from a mutual friend, and just from then we just got to know each other. And then I remember one day I was like, oh yeah, I'm starting this new course in church. It's called ICAS. She was like, oh, I'm doing ICAS too. And then from there we just got to know each other, and now we've been going out.
And did you like Nathan straight away?
I had to put in a lot of work. It wasn't a one-day thing. It wasn't. You understand? It took a while. Yeah.
So you guys have been together 8 months. Now, I follow you guys on Snapchat, and so I've seen that word love being thrown around. Is that right?
Maybe.
Who was the first one to say it?
It was me.
And did you feel it straight away?
What do you mean?
Like, when he said it, were you like, I love you too, or were you like, mm-hmm?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She said I love you too, but I can't remember. I remember.
That'd probably scar you, wouldn't it, if you said that and then it was just silence?
No,
you probably remember that.
I remember it very. It was at Waterloo train station. I remember like yesterday.
Oh, that's nice.
Amazing.
Stop.
Look her in the eyes and say it on telly.
Okay. Which camera am
Can you reenact what happened? So we're at Waterloo train station right now. Choo choo.
Yeah.
Mind the
Let's
gap.
do it right now. I feel like I'm inappropriately in the moment. Like you're like learning from you.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. Which camera? This one, right? I love you, babe.
I love you too.
Oh, that's sweet.
What we need to find out is, how did you know?
Yeah. Good question.
Wow.
Deep.
Do you know? Because I think for me it was a feeling, and I think especially with Shona, as we got to know each other a lot, like I've never met someone that made me feel like that before. Just the way she acts and stuff like that. But I remember there was this one moment, and we went obviously with Ika. We go to ministry school, and we always, we learn about the Bible and stuff like that. But then after, I would always take her home. And there was this one time she was just talking to someone at the end of ministry school, and then she was just chatting to someone, and I was like, okay, we're getting ready to go. She was like, okay, just 1 minute. She carried on chatting to this person. I was like, okay, cool. 5 minutes go by. I go again. I'm like, let's go. It was just some woman that was at the back of a ministry school, and I was like, 10 minutes go by. I was like, okay, babe, I'm gonna talk to you later. Then just went home. Okay, I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but I was like, gotta get my last train. So I did that, and then when I got home, I just messaged her saying, did you get home all right? So you're just chatting to someone. And Shona was just like, I'm really, really sorry. I just wanted to, she was new to church, and she just wanted to connect someone, just make sure she's connected before I left. And I think at that moment, it was like she felt that in that moment, it was her building the church and doing stuff like that was more important than, I don't know, the boy that she might go out with, because at the point I didn't say I liked her. And I thought, for me, that was like, wow. So I think with feelings, like those things can come and go, like we've been saying before. But when you see like character like that, that's something that really you can hold on to. And that was probably definitely the turning point for me.
Wow. We're going to throw to a quick video right now. This segment's called Awkward, where we've sent out a load of different people with different tasks to overcome their fear of man. Check it out.
How good was that? If you've just joined us, we are talking about fearless relationships. And today we are talking about real love. So we've got the boys chatting to the girls, girls chatting to the boys. We've been asking some questions. But we actually had a question that came in, which I would love to get your thoughts and comments on, girls and guys. It said this: I thought I was in real love, but then my boyfriend cheated on me. That is the question, guys. So I guess she thinks she's in real love. She thinks she's in a committed relationship, and then she finds out her boyfriend's cheated on her. And, you know, as a girl, I think that would cut you pretty deep. I think it'd be good to get both sides of the perspective. Emma, you work with loads of young girls in regards to, you run a blog actually for young girls. With these sorts of questions, like just general lifestyle questions, what would you say if someone wrote into your blog saying that to you? What sort of comments, thoughts, suggestions would you give there?
Well, it's an interesting one, and things like that are really hurtful, but it does happen to a lot of people. But I think it doesn't mean that it's not real love. But people make mistakes, and we're all human, and we all do wrong things. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you should then stay with that person, but it doesn't mean that you then lose hope in love forever, because not everybody's the same, and yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Guys, what would you say to that question? She thinks she's in real love. The guy has cheated on her. What would your comments, thoughts on that would be? You know, would you say, well, he obviously wasn't in real love? Would you say he was in real love? He's done that anyway? Like, over to you guys.
Maybe in some situations like that, he's just not that serious. Because I think if you're really trying to pursue a girl, like, if those temptations do come, you've just got to take yourself out of it. And if you're really, really serious about a girl and you're gonna do anything for this girl, then that's not gonna be that big of a deal to you. Do you know what I mean? Just walk away.
Yeah, I love that. I just know with Charlie, you know, I'm more in love with her now than I ever have been in my whole life. And we've been married nearly 7 years now, and it's just literally like year after year, the love grows. And, you know, I just had to make sure in different areas that I didn't fall or stumble in different areas. And it's not to put any condemnation on anyone, even anyone who's watching who, like, you know, who has cheated. You know, there's grace for everyone. Yeah. But I know, like, even if, you know, you're the greatest leader and you're in so much love, you still need to make sure you're, like, thinking about what you're watching. And I think you told me this, you like, if you keep that one person the apple of your eye, then there's no room for anyone else. And I just think as you continue to fall in love and you just make sure there's no room for anyone else, then it stops at, you know, any opportunity coming up.
And I think for that person who's been cheated on, they need to know that their worth and their value isn't determined by the mistake that someone else has made. You know, and they can move forward from this point. You know, there is still real love for them to have access to.
I love that. I love that. I think that's a great place to end. That's all we've got time for today. But maybe you've got some questions, some comments, some thoughts on what we discussed today. Well, we'd love to hear from you. You can get in touch with us at getintouch@fearlesslondon.co.uk. Chat to us on any of our social media channels or check out our YouTube page.
For bonus footage, bloopers, and behind-the-scenes content, check out our YouTube page, Fearless TV UK. Check out our social media channels at Fearless TV UK. Hashtag the Fearless Generation.
We're going to leave you with a reenactment of the wedding between Gabriel and Annabella. This is real love.
Oh.